guys, thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe and like this video and leave your comments below and ask your questions below. I'm going to go over Dehoot Valley again. We're days away from the launch. I'll show you guys a little bit of preview and how to get started with very little services, very little wax to get started, so you can jump in, start playing, see if this is a game you guys really like on the Wax blockchain. So I hope you guys enjoy. Again, leave your comments below and please be sure to like and subscribe to this video. Any day now. So this is what the new Dehoot Valley should look like as opposed to now, which I'll show you guys in a second. So anyway, I think it's pretty cool as opposed to what they have right now. Right now, what is built is pretty much just staking and blending your buildings. So today I'm going to show you how to get started, what you need to get started, where to get your stuff, where to start blending, and then some drops and kind of how it works a little bit. So the first thing you need is, obviously, if you go to Dehoot Valley and you connect your wallet, it's going to bring you up to a page like this. Obviously, you're not going to have a bunch of building stake and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be pretty blank, and you're going to have an area that says stake buildings. You're going to have another area that says active effects. This is also special buildings, which I'll show you in a second. And then you will also have all your residential buildings right now that hold your population that aren't staked. So these are all ones that aren't staked, and the reason for that is because of this next thing, which is the services, which is the very first thing you need. You need services before you can stake any buildings, and the reason for that is because if I go up here to my stake buildings, you can see this is cool. This is some new Halloween drops that they just did that are still live. I'll show you those in a second. You still get them for a day or two here. But basically what you see here is this is your population, which says it holds 40 people. So what does that mean? That means as long as this building's staked, every 24 hours, I'm going to get 40 population, or basically I'm going to get 40 hoots. But in order to do that, I need to produce water, and I need to produce electricity. So this is showing how much electricity I have. So this is the total electricity that I have with all the buildings I have, and this is the total water, and this is how much is being used. So I can only really stake one more small building, and once the official game rolls out, I'm told you'll be able to use your Hoot to buy more plots of land. As of right now, I can only stake up to 20 buildings. That's why it's not completely maxed out right now. So I have 20 buildings staked, but the first thing you need to go get is you need to go get some resource buildings. Now, these are all kind of maxed out, but I'll show you really quickly where you can kind of go get those. And this is where NFT blocks is, if you're playing any games, any NFT gaming on the Wax blockchain, you want to get familiar with NFT blocks, because that's where you're going to find all your drops, all your blending, and so many other things. You can open your packs, and you can do that on some other areas too, but NFT blocks I just find kind of encompasses everything. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go find Dehoot Valley to get started. Oh, I'll spell it right here. And it's going to take us to their page. So you can read a little bit more about it. I will point out just a couple areas. I mean, the first thing is you can always go and just see, your NFTs in that game. You can just click on your wallet and it'll tell you, click on my NFTs, and you can go and search that by collection and everything. I want to see if there's any active drops going on right now. Now, there was a drop a while ago where you could buy some industries. Is this available right now? No, that's ended. Okay. But I do own some industries that you could have bought a while ago. They're no longer on sale. I'm just trying to see if they're even in here anymore. Doesn't look like they, oh yeah, they are. So you could have bought these industries. You can probably still go get them actually on Atomic Hub. And I'll show you that in a second, where you can buy them. And then every week, it kind of depends on the market and stuff, because they don't want to flood the market with resources. You can actually go and claim different resources. So you can claim sand, rocks, cement, wood, which I'll show you that you need in some of your blends and stuff. It's not open right now. They might not be doing one this week where they're dropping, because they did just have some drops for Halloween, which one is still open right now. So you can actually go and get a cemetery. I think today is the last day it's Halloween that you can actually go and blend this. But basically what you do is you buy your cemetery. So you just, however many you want, it doesn't matter. They're 10 wax each, and then you just hit claim and you'll have your cemetery. And I'll show you what you can do with that and what buildings that you can build. You're going to need some resources and stuff. So that's where you can go find all your drops. Again, if you have any packs, if you're buying any packs or anything yet, maybe it's on Atomic Hub, maybe there'll be some drops coming up. You can always go in there and you can open those up. I'm probably not going to have any in this time. Not in this game. I will show you in Castles. I have some tombs, some packs that need to be opened, but not here. So I'm going to go to blends now. Now blends is where you're going to be able to create all your buildings and stuff, and it's going to show you everything. Now there's a lot of them. So if you want to know what you can actually blend, you can always just go and filter, and you can click on, you can change it to if I own all the required NFTs. So if I own everything, these will be the buildings that I can buy. So right now, because I've already used up most of my resources to blend the buildings and all that kind of stuff, I don't have a lot. So there's only a couple things that I can actually go and blend. If I want to find out if I'm only missing like maybe one thing, so I only need to go buy one thing on Atomic Hub and see how close I am, then that's great. I can go see, oh great, I can go make another building. I can go do an electric plant, different things like that. And then if you have no idea, you can always just go to show all. But this is where I want to show you where you need to get started. Is you need to, first off, you need to have some services. So there is some original service buildings. If you keep scrolling down here, you have your water 1, 2, and 3, and you have your electric. It's not pulling up here. I just got to refresh the screen, but there's an electric 1, 2, and 3. And if you go and click on it, it'll show you what you need to blend or what you need to have in resources to actually get started. So you're going to need to buy 1 iron, 1 cement, and 1 aluminum. I don't have any of those right now because, like I said, I just used them all up to blend a couple more service buildings and stuff. But you can always go to Atomic Hub and you can go just look at resources, and you can find all the different resources that you need. So say I want iron. I know iron is a little scarce right now. Yeah, it looks like there might not even be any. Oh, there is. So not too bad, 47 wax. So you need at least that in order to start building, along with some aluminum and cement. Cement's not that much. So if you get all 3 of those, then you can get started with your building, and your building here will tell you how much. This is a water plant. It always cuts me off here, but you can see the capacity is 30. So this is going to give you 30 water, as will the electric plant 1 will give you 30 energy. So if I go back here, rather than this number, you're going to see 30 here. And then you can go start blending some buildings. So what can you blend for 30? Well, there's lots of options. So if I go back now, I want to go start looking at all the buildings and stuff. Again, first off, I can see what do I own everything of, and then I can see, okay, so I could go and build a house right now because I have, all I need is a plot of land, a small blueprint, and some wood. And obviously I have lots of land, I have lots of blueprints, and I've got 1 wood left. So I could go and blend that. I'm not going to because I really don't need it. And it's a fairly small population for the size of services and everything I have. It doesn't say right now because, again, it's just cut off here. But basically this is just a population of 1. But once you get this one, then you can go blend, the second one, and then you can go blend the third one. Because if I get off of this and just show all, you'll see now what I'll need to go blend. That was A1, so I think that's down a bit. Let's go have we're just going to refresh here so it pulls everything up. But I'm going to go down. It's going to tell me what resources. And I know in order to build an A2, I do need an A1 for sure. So if I have that, it will allow me to, there we go. So A1, so you can go all the way up to A5. I believe this is a population of, it's either 8 or 16. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if I keep going down, because it was one of the original buildings, so that might not be the one you want to build, but you can go and look at all the different buildings here. Again, we have A1, A2. Did I pass? I didn't. It's still further down because they all came out at different stages. Yeah, so A1. So say I wanted to now go blend an A2. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to show me I just need 2 more wood, which I don't have right now, but I can go buy those again on Atomic Hub for basically nothing. Those are actually quite cheap. yeah, so 1.37 wax, I can buy 2 wood. And then if I've already blended my A1, which I have, I'll be able to go and I'll be able to create an A2. And you can kind of keep blending up that way to hold more and more population until you fill up your services. And this number is the same as this one. Well, then at that point, you either need to upgrade your water and electric facilities, which is the exact same thing. You just go and click on those options. It's going to tell you what you need to blend. If you can go find those on Atomic Hub, then great. Otherwise, sometimes you can just go, there's still some packs. There'll be more packs and stuff coming out too that hopefully you'll be able to buy that will have more resources. If you're getting serious, and I mean, this one's priced way too much, so I wouldn't be buying that right now. But maybe a basic cargo has 12 NFTs, and this is going to have a lot of your starting resources to build those smaller houses. A heavy cargo, again, this is a little overpriced right now, but this one has, 50 NFTs. So that's going to give you enough to probably go and start building some of those buildings. But you can always just go on the on Atomic Hub, and you can just look for services too. You can compare, see what they're worth. Let's see if we can find. Yeah, an Electric 3, again, is pretty expensive right now. So I would probably be looking at blending this as opposed to buying it. But sometimes you can get them for cheap. Maybe it's an Electric 1 or an Electric 2 that you want is going to be a little bit more reasonable. A Water 1 is only 115. This is going to give you that 30. So you kind of got to compare whether it's going to be cheaper to just go buy it outright or blending. What's your time worth? All that kind of stuff. So you can always buy those services there. I did talk about special buildings a little bit. There is a couple special buildings that you'll probably want to get started with. Now, a major plaza is one. The Hut of the Natives is another, again, depending on what the price is, and if it's something you want to get started with. And then the first Hoot Bank, which again, everything's a little bit pricier right now, but I think it's because everybody's excited about the launch that's coming up. But the reason you want those is because you can go and stake those, and it does two things. If you go to their white paper, it will talk about different specialties and stuff. If you own all 3 of those, so they're already staked, sorry. So if you own a hut, a bank, and a major plaza, it gives you a specialist role. And what that does, it just gives you access to different drops. You can buy different things with hoots and packs and that kind of stuff. So it's worth it. But you also get actual hoot for this, depending on how many buildings and stuff you have. So say, for example, if you have a major plaza, it maxes out at 250 hoots a day that you get. If you have a bank and at least 50,000 hoots already saved up, that will give you an extra 500 hoot a day. And then if you have a hut, it will give you 50 hoots per building. So I have 10 buildings with this one hut, so that gives me 500 a day. So just with those, I get 500, 500, and 250. That gives me 1,250 extra hoot a day by having those. Plus I have access to certain drops and different things like that. So those are 3 things that you might want to go and get started with. But if you're on a very shoestring budget or just want to start playing with this, the easiest and cheapest way to get started is you don't have to go and buy a big, you don't have to even go spend 100 wax. You can get started with, they just rolled these out a couple weeks ago, but it's like the Last Sip water plant and the, what do they call it? The Perpetual Light electric plant. Now these only give you 15 energy and 15 water, but you can see they don't really take many resources at all. You need to go buy a copper and wood. So, I mean, let's go have a quick look here. Let's look at resources. Let's see what copper is. There's copper. Right now, 26 wax plus wood was not even 2 wax. So for 28 wax, all of a sudden you can get started in the game, and that's going to give you 15 energy, 15 services. That's enough for a couple houses, which again, we just showed you can get started on some very simple houses that doesn't take much wax. Again, if we started at, let's just scroll down here. Again, let's say we just started with a D1, which is a decent one. I think you can get up to 16 population with these. What do I need? I need a land, a blueprint. These are probably maybe 15 wax, and then this is going to be another, you know, maybe 5 to 10 wax, so 25 wax plus a building. So for 50 wax, what is that? $5. You're basically in the game. $5-10, you're in the game. You can start playing with it. It would be worth, in my opinion, going and getting some of this stuff now before the official launch. I feel like it's going to be cheaper, a better place to get started, allow you to start upgrading and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically how you get started. And then once you get your services, you don't have to stake your services. If you go down your services, so like those two that I just showed you, they're automatically going to show up here. So you don't need to stake those. When you go buy a special building on Atomic Hub, it is going to show up in your special building section. So you will have to go stake those. There'll just be a button like this at the bottom that says stake, and then all of a sudden it will show up. Like in mine, active effects, it will show up here. And then same thing, buildings, as you go and buy or blend a building, it is going to show up in your residential. If it's not staked, it'll say stake on it. If you have run out of energy and run out of water, then you're not going to be able to stake it. It'll give you an error message, but you can just go stake them. Actually, I'll just show you. I reached my limit. I can't stake any more buildings, so it's not going to let me do that. But once I do stake them, they're all going to show here. And then every day I can come in and this number is going to change, and I can just go hit claim. I can claim all my Hoot. They show up here in my wallet. And then, yeah, and then I'm pretty much good to go. This is just showing how much wax I don't have. I just went and bought some more blockchain brawler gear, so I don't have a lot of wax in my wallet right now. We're selling a couple things, but that's the gist of how to get started in Dehoot Valley. Go get some small service buildings, start blending a couple buildings on Nifty blocks. If you want, go get some special buildings. It's just an added benefit. It's something you're probably going to need. And then as the new game rolls out, I'll leave you kind of with that clip a little bit and talks about the different, you know, population that's coming, the jobs, the industries, the tourism, all that kind of stuff. Super excited. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We will just give you a little preview once again. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.